Everybody, what is going on? The catch. Fam, hope you guys are doing phenomenal tonight, man. Hope everyone out there having a great Monday. Hope you guys wrapped up some week 11 fantasy victories as the Chiefs and Eagles is just wrapped up here on Monday night with the Eagles pulling through. Interesting game. A good football game at the end of the day, but a little bit disappointing, maybe potentially from a fantasy perspective. I don't know. Maybe I'm just saying that because AJ Brown had a bad game, but overall, a good football game, and that'll do it for week 11. So, you guys know what we're here for tonight. Week 12 fantasy Q&A. Anything that you guys need. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, we are 3 weeks away from the fantasy playoffs. I don't know where this season has gone, but let's enjoy it. It's crunch time. I mean, victories are absolutely crucial at this point in the fantasy season. So, starts, sits, maybe trades. Most of your trade deadlines out there are probably concluded after this past week, but maybe not for everybody. Waivers. Got some interesting names out there on the waiver wire this week here in week 12. But as always, whatever you guys need, get in the live chat. Let me know. Let's have some fun tonight. Let's talk some fantasy football. Okay, so not a whole lot to go over in terms of news or anything like that today. Obviously, with only one game going on today, but we'll go ahead and take a look at what we got here. Geno Smith's elbow showed no structural damages. Smith could potentially play on Thursday, barring any setbacks. Running back Kenneth Walker, not a candidate for IR at this time, but he is not going to play. And Keaton Mitchell will step up and actually be the RB2 for the Hawks and potentially get some snaps. So that could be something that could be interesting and maybe interesting for some of you dynasty players as well. But we'll see how things shape out there. Cooper Kupp considered day-to-day with the ankle sprain. Optimism from head coach of the Baltimore Ravens, John Harbaugh, that Mark Andrews could be back at some point in time. The most vague update ever. Let's see here. Devontae Shane still listed as questionable with that knee injury. Zach Wilson will be the third-string quarterback behind Tim Boyle and Trevor Siemian, for anyone who cares about that. And the Falcons have named Desmond Ridder the QB1 moving into this coming week. So there's your new segment. In terms of tonight's game, what do we get here? Like I said, it felt like, I don't know, I feel like we were just expecting maybe a bit more fireworks in this game, but David Montgomery. DeAndre Swift, still a good game, a player that I really encourage you guys to start even against this tough Chiefs defense, but he had 19.7 fantasy points. That is DeAndre Swift's second highest mark on the season outside of that week 2 performance against Minnesota. Jalen Hurts, 19.9 fantasy points, still got it done for you. Had those 2 touchdowns through the ground tonight. So kind of wrapped it up. But AJ Brown, just a really, really disappointing game. Nothing there throughout this game for AJ Brown. 4 targets, 1 reception, 8 receiving yards, 1.8 receiving yards. His worst fantasy performance of the season. His worst fantasy performance since week 10 of last year. Devonta Smith, full PPR, good enough. 15.9 points, came through with that big catch towards the end of the game. And that's really all we have to look at in terms of Eagles players. So I guess not too bad, but the A.J. Brown thing kind of overshadows it. Isaiah Pacheco, another player. I told you guys if you have to start him, it's not a good matchup, but maybe there's a floor there. And it was there, 89 yards on the ground, added a reception, 10.10 fantasy points. Patty Mahomes, 17.9. I mean, not his worst mark on the season, but certainly not his best, but maybe got it done for you. I thought Rashee Rice would have a good game. 5 targets, 4 receptions, 42 receiving yards, 8.2 receiving yards, or excuse me, 8.2 fantasy points. Yeah. I thought he might find the end zone. Kelsey, on the other hand, 9 targets, 7 receptions, 45 receiving yards, and a touchdown for 15.5 fantasy points. So, great day for Kelsey. I don't think anyone was starting anyone else on this Chiefs offense. So, and actually a okay-ish day if he started the Eagles or Chiefs defense as well. Not a good day for either kicker involved in tonight's matchup. But nonetheless, Week 11 has wrapped up. Let's talk some Week 12 fantasy. Let me know what you guys need. Let's do it, ladies and gentlemen. All right, what are we doing with Zach Wilson Dynasty? Obvious concern, but no idea what to do with him. I don't really think that he will be competing for a starting job anytime soon. Like, kind of like 3 scenarios with Zach Wilson, I guess, going into this year. Okay, right. One was that he was just not going to play. It would be a long time hold. He'd be sitting behind Rodgers learning, probably the best thing. And then maybe he gets a shot, maybe with the Jets when Rodgers retires or with another squad. Second scenario is Rodgers gets injured and they give Zach Wilson a chance and it's not good. Third scenario is Rodgers gets injured and they give Zach Wilson a chance and he was good. So we got like the worst possible outcome if you own Zach Wilson in Dynasty. Maybe just hold for now, let the dust settle. Like it's not like you're gonna be able to trade him for anything. So maybe just hold him for now. And I mean, what else are you really supposed to do other than drop him, right? So unless you have a gaping hole at another position, I'd say just hold him. Ghost Hunter got another 2 wins this week. Let's go. 9-2, 8-2, and 5-6. Very nice. Kels, what's going on? Chris Godwin, Olave, Collins, Romeo Dobbs. Pick 2 to start. So it's going to be an interesting week. Obviously, with Thanksgiving on the calendar, we have 3 games on Thursday, and then we have our first ever Black Friday game on Friday, obviously at 3 p.m. between the Dolphins and the Jets, and a handful of 1 o'clock games, afternoon games, a Sunday night and Monday night game. So let's take a look here. Chris Godwin will get the Colts, decent matchup. Olave coming off the bye will get the Falcons on the road, not a great matchup. Nico Collins. Texans will be taking on the Jaguars at home, pretty good matchup. Don't forget the Texans beat the Jags earlier in the season. And the Dubster, Romeo Dobbs, Packers will be playing the first Thanksgiving game against the Lions. This Lions secondary has struggled throughout the year. So I think it's really tough to sit Chris Olave even in a good matchup. So I'm still starting Chris Olave. I'll probably take the upside of Nico Collins here. Those would be my starts. But I do think that there's an argument for just about any of these guys. So what's going on, Albert? Good to see you. McDouble need 15 from Hurts. Almost had a heart attack when he hit 0 at half. Yeah. He got it done, hopefully, probably for most of you guys. Kels, Josh Downs, Jalen Warren, Ty Chandler, keep Mitchell. I'm going Jalen Warren. Jalen Warren probably needs to stay in our starting lineups. Josh Downs close. Chase, start 2. Happy for next week. We got Mixon, Warren, Hall. Need to win against a tough matchup. See, I like all these guys next week, man. Jets get the Dolphins at home. I mean, Breece Hall's probably the least likely to score like a touchdown, have a big upside. It's a decent matchup, but the Dolphins defense has looked better as of late. Mixing it's the Steelers, a good matchup, but like, what is this offense going to look like with backup quarterback? Warren is definitely a start here. Okay. It's not the best matchup against the Bengals, but we'll take it. The volume will be there. We'll take Warren. And I really think that between the other two, it's close. I'd say Mixon for a 4, Breece Hall for upside. I'd probably go Warren and Hall, but maybe I'm being too harsh on Mixon. Maybe the Bengals need to rely on him more, but I just don't know what this offense is going to look like. You know what I mean? So I'd probably go Warren and Hall, but it's definitely close, Chase. J-Dubs, good to see you, my guy. Stroud or Tua? Yeah, I mean, you can't really go wrong here. Obviously, it's hard for me to bench a guy like Tua because I feel like the upside is just with that offense is always there. But you can probably argue the same thing for CJ Stroud at this point. So, when Stroud faced Jacksonville in week 3, he ended up with 20.6 fantasy points. I was on the road. I don't know, man. I think I just lean Stroud right now, but I just have a really tough time benching Tua. Give me Stroud. I'm going to say Stroud for now, but it is super close. Tough choices there, Chase. Bryce, lost Andrews. Do I trade Keenan Allen for Pittman and Kincaid? Or Diggs for David Njoku and Kamara? I feel better about the second trade. Keenan Allen's just playing way too good. It's a pretty fair trade for Keenan Allen. If it, it I, it's close. I just don't want to lose Keenan Allen right now. I don't want to use. I mean, you're getting the wide receiver 20, and you're getting a great tight end to own. But man, I just don't want to do it. I like the second trade more. I mean, Diggs, since Dalton Kincaid has come into the picture, has had a lower ceiling, but he's still going to be fine. A lot of good competitive matchups coming up. Close, but I think I consider the second trade more than the first, but very close. Bunny Hop, what's going on, man? Hope you are doing fantastic. Just won 130 on the Eagles money line. Let's go. This is for a hash brown at 2 in the morning. Love you, John. Thanks so much, my guy. Also, Tank Dell in playoff contention after beating first place guy this week. Let's go. Glad to see that fantasy team is doing better, doing well overall. And certainly appreciate the super chat and congrats taking the Eagles money line tonight. Gotta love it. Thank you so much for the super chat. And good to see you, bro. What's up? Oh, Bryce, could also pick up Likely. I think you can pick up Likely. I'm still kind of torn on him. Like I think it's still being tied to this Ravens offense, how good they've been, how consistent they've been. There's got to be something there, but man, like 0 points after coming in for Andrews, and then just kind of up and down last year when Andrews didn't play. Was hurt last year. This is tough, man. Who else is out there on waivers for you, Bryce? Is Mitchell worth starting over any of those running backs I mentioned? No, I would not say so. I would not say so. I mean, it feels so risky. He's got the Chargers, maybe, but I don't know if I want to do it. It's a good thought, but it feels too risky for me. Ghost Hunter, would you trade Henry, Ferguson, and Sutton for T-Law, JT, and Logan Thomas? Full PPR. Man, I feel like you do a trade every week. All right, Henry, Ferguson, Sutton, get T-Law, JT, and Thomas. You've got Kyler, B-Rob, Najee, Hunt. So upgrade at running back doesn't hurt. Evans, DJ Moore, Debo, Downs, Cook, and you got Kincaid. So losing Ferguson doesn't really bother me because you have Kincaid. JT, I'd rather have than Henry right now. I don't know. I don't know. I love Cortland Sutton. That's my guy. But you don't really have to start him. I mean, if you really want an additional quarterback and Trevor Lawrence to finish out the year, you can do it, but you're probably starting Kyler every game, right? I mean, I think the biggest thing here is gaining JT. I mean, right now you can start Kyler, B-Rob, Najee. So, I'd probably do the trade just to get JT. But I hate to lose Sutton. I really do. A couple of tough matchups coming up for him, though. I'd probably do the trade. What's going on, Tommy? Keep Mitchell, A-Chain, lost my matchup. I'm in a must-win mode. Chiron's coming back. Good. If A-Chain plays, flex A-Chain over Mitchell still early in week. I probably would start A-Chain if he plays, yes. I will just ride the A-Chain train into the ground, but maybe that's my own biasy. So maybe proceed with caution, but I'd probably start him, yeah. Mike, what's going on, man? And Tommy, I mean, especially if you're in win now, like, just take the upside, right? Maybe Mitchell has some upside too. Say HA might have more though. Other option would be just Henry and Fergie for JT and Thomas. Like, I think you can do that trade. Yeah, I don't have a problem with that trade at all. I mean, let's see here. Henry, pretty good schedule coming up after facing two tough run defenses in Tampa Bay and Jacksonville on the road. I mean, he gets Carolina, Indy, Miami, Houston, Seattle, Houston. That might literally be the best remaining strength of the schedule for a running back. So maybe consider that before you do the trade. I know it's been frustrating owning Henry right now. JT gets Tampa Bay, Tennessee, Cincy, Pittsburgh, Atlanta, Las Vegas. The playoff schedule is fine. Tennessee and Cincy on the road are a little bit tougher. Tampa Bay is tough too. So I don't know. Maybe I keep Henry. What do you think? Are you worried about Eckler at all? His receiving game seems to be down. With the Chargers wide receivers banged up, you think you get more? I think it has more to do with the offensive scheme. Different offensive coordinator, obviously, in Kellen Moore this year. But am I worried about Eckler? No, but it is a tough matchup this week against Baltimore. I mean, Eckler is effective on the ground last week, 6.4 yards per carry, 64 yards on the ground, had 2 receptions off of 3 targets after having 7 or more targets in 3 straight games and 6 or more targets between week 6 and week 10 in every game except for week 7. So, I mean, it's going to happen here and there. Overall, this is the second game on the year where he's had 3 or less targets. Every other game he's played in this year, he's had, let's see here, 5 or more. So, it happens, but you would think in this game script and everything, and wide receivers being made up, yeah. The biggest thing for Eckler is that he didn't score a touchdown, which is really surprising because that Packers run defense has been really bad this year. But no, I'm not worried personally. Who'd you package for CD, Keenan, or AJ? Owners are struggling, almost out of the playoffs, trying to take advantage of the situation. You got Puka, Wilson, Ridley, Deontay, Watson, Dotson. Watson scored a touchdown. Use that to your advantage. Puka scored a touchdown, and he has a shoulder injury. But Cup's also hurt. Probably keep him. Deontay, Watson, and Dotson. I mean, I don't know. That's not going to get you CD, Keenan, or AJ. So maybe use Ridley to your advantage coming off a big game. I still think he's very volatile. Maybe do like Ridley and Watson and see what happens. Had Burrow and Chase, but still won because my opponent had Wilson and Brown. Also, which running back is best for rest of the season? Pollard, Pacheco, or Connor? I mean, really what it's going to come down to is strength of schedule. Pollard gets Washington, Seattle, Philly, Buffalo, Miami, Detroit. Not bad, but, Philadelphia is a tough matchup. Detroit in the fantasy championship is also a tough matchup. But, I mean, 2 games, so not too bad. Connor, Rams, Pittsburgh, a bye. San Fran, not great. Then he gets Chicago, good. Then he gets Philly, not good. So Pittsburgh, okay. Bye week hurts you. Chicago, good. Other than that, all bad matchups. That Rams run defense hasn't really been anything to sneeze at. Pacheco gets Vegas, Green Bay, Buffalo, New England, Las Vegas, Cincy. That's the best strength of schedule, but the Chiefs offense is weird. So I probably say Pollard because this Cowboys offense been just really good. So I probably go Pollard. I probably put him in that order that you have him, Pollard, Pacheco, Connor. Do we keep trusting Taysom Hill as a tight end? No, you never trust him. Even when he was playing well this year and having those high ceilings, I kept telling you guys, just you have to expect disappointment. Don't trust him. Volatile as anyone in the league. Will Chiron be a must start week 12? I think he's probably good to go. Yeah. I think you have to throw him out there, but I mean he plays the Cardinals, so yeah. I like Jalen Warren a lot as well, but I'd probably still go Pollard. I haven't really been off of Pollard like a lot of people have. Trade deadline for my Happy Bar League is 25th, and in my 2 ESPN leagues is the 29th. Oh, nice. You're going to keep trading, aren't you? What's up, Burger Dog? Good to see you. Cinnabon, what's up? Joe, good to see everybody. Thank you guys for being here. 4th straight week I benched Mahomes for Dak. Very nice. Anytime for Chiefs GM to find some wide receivers with hands. It's exactly what I said during this game as soon as MBS did not catch that touchdown. It's like, why has the front office not invested in wide receivers for this team? I mean, sure, you drafted Sky Moore, then you drafted Rashee Rice. Rashee Rice has been good, don't get me wrong. Sky Moore has not been great. Traded for Kadarius Toney. I mean, like you can do all those things, but you should still be making a move for just at least someone who's that guy, you know? Kelsey and Watson can't do it all, and Rashee Rice, those 3 guys just can't do it all. I mean, maybe that comes in this offseason. I don't know. But you got to imagine that Patrick Mahomes wants more help in terms of pass catch. I'm now number 1 in my home league with 3 of my starters being Bengals. That might not feel great. Considering Fields over 2 this week, yeah, I think Fields you can start. I mean, I told you guys a little hesitant going in this matchup, but then also as the week went on, like it's probably gonna be a game where the Bears are playing from behind or competitive game script, garbage time, however you want to look at it. I will say it was a competitive game script, but yeah, I think Fields on a week-to-week basis, as long as he continues to get like 8 to 10 rushing attempts, you can start him. But yeah, good matchup Monday Night Football between the Vikings, so I like it. Thoughts on Chase? My wide receivers are Chase Brown, Moore, Tank Dell, and Myers. About to drop Myers for Sutton. Yes, do that part definitely for sure. Drop Myers for Sutton. Chase is fine. Goes from it's like the same thing that happened to Garrett Wilson. I've been saying that since Burrow got hurt. Like his overall ceiling lowers, but he's still a top 15 to 20 wide receiver, just based on talent alone. So I'm probably starting AJ Brown, DJ Moore, and Tank Dell next week. Okay, I really like Cortland Sutton, but he gets the Browns, and maybe we just see what happens with Jamar Chase. But you don't need to drop him or like trade him or anything. So yeah, I'll go Brown, Moore, Dell. I only have 3 wide receivers on my team: St. Brown, Dell, and Puka. I mean, that's probably getting it done, right? LeBron's beating out Cinnabon. Which league is that? Yeah, treat him like Wilson. See what happens. I'm much, much more worried about T. Higgins. I lost Andrews the other day, but have Laporta. Yeah, he'll be back at some point. Like, he has to be, right? It's a good matchup this past week. Had just 6.8 points, but this offense as a whole is starting to really spread the football around a little bit more and get more people involved. So maybe he's just a low ceiling tight end for now. Problem is they don't use Likely the same way they use Andrews. Yep. They draw plays for Andrews to get the ball. Likely just has to hope the ball comes to him on secondary read. 100%. I'm worried about, like, if you had Mark Andrews, Isaiah Likely is just not like a straight up replacement necessarily. The A-Chain train is probably derailed, but I still believe in it. I don't know. I don't know. As long as he's healthy, but it is concerning, right? Drafted Mahomes, added Dak a few weeks before Chiefs bye, been starting Dak, and added a 3rd quarterback in Dobbs to block others in my league, hurting for quarterbacks. Yeah. There's always one team that does that, but hey, I'm all for it. After tonight, 9-2, might just bench him. Yeah, I mean, you're in a spot where you can bench him for now, so that's good. Andrea, hello. Thank you for stopping by. E-Money says, go Birds. Big victory tonight. Terry, pick one in week 12. Madison, Javante, or Charbs. I'd probably go Javante. Good volume there. It is a tough matchup against the Browns, but they've been allowing decent enough fantasy performances for running backs as of late that I don't mind it. Gave up a lot of points to the position. Week 11 against the Ravens, then gave up at least a decent day to Jalen Warren last week. So I'll stick with Javante. Eagles might be the worst 8-1 team of all time. It's a weird year, you know. Defenses have been really good. I think the Eagles are a good football team for sure. That secondary is concerning, but the secondary played okay tonight. Maybe that's just because the Chiefs wide receivers suck. Doge, we lost Andrew, so Otten, Freiermuth are likely. It just in terms of suggestions, it depends on who else is out there. I mean, I do think that Cade Otten is a kind of boomer bust, touchdown dependent tight end that you can play on a weekly basis, but yeah, I do like Pat Freiermuth. I told you guys do not start him against Cleveland in week 11, but I think he, of course, could get the job done. So I think either of those guys are fine. I'd probably take a shot on them over likely. Alexander, Mitchell, Jalen Warren, Ty Chandler. Definitely Jalen Warren for me. LeBron says I'm all the way off Pollard. Yeah, I think he's still like. I mean, here's what I've been saying is like you drafted him to be a RB1 probably. Maybe you went double RB like back to back rounds 1 and round 2, but you just have to accept that he's a RB2. You know, and when you look on the season, he's given you single digit performances 5 times, and he's given you double digit performances 5 times. So. And, you know, like some of these matchups chalked up to game script, some of them not. And some of it's like game script where the Cowboys needed to throw the football. Then some of it's like games where they didn't need to do anything, you know. So I don't know. I look at this upcoming schedule: Washington, Seattle, Philly, Buffalo, Miami, Detroit. Some tough matchups, Philly, Detroit, for example, but also some really competitive game scripts. So I think Pollard could have a nice finish to the season. He should be a top 20 back in PPR after the finish this week. Yeah, Terry Wood, I absolutely caught that ball 100 times. Thoughts on Freiermuth? Would you drop Taysom Hill for him or hold Hill? Also of Ingram. In that circumstance, I would hold Hill because Ingram is offering you a safe floor every single week, which is kind of close to what Pat Freiermuth will offer you, and where Taysom Hill offers you that upside. So. LeBron's not going to lie, take on Kelsey. I believe it. Yeah, typical MVS tonight. I mean, what do you expect? Jackie played against the lowest points against team by a long shot, proceeded to lose by scoring 50 below projection. I mean, these things happen. Last place in my league is 2-9 with the 4th highest points by 100 points. Yeah, that happens a lot too. It's just mind-boggling. Fields or Howell this week? Sam Howell. What are we going to do with you? You get the Cowboys on Thanksgiving. I'll go Fields against the Vikings. I'll go Fields. It's a tough matchup for my guy Sam Howell this week. It's a good matchup last week, and he still got you 20 fantasy points. I mean, I think if you like have to start Sam Howell, you can. But I don't necessarily want to. You know, considering the turnovers against the Giants, now this week he gets Cowboys. Give me Fields. I could let gas on a breakaway run. I got caught, should have housed it. Yeah, weird game for the Chargers, but I also think that the Chargers kind kind of suck. You know? Constantly asked about trades, even though they never get made. Nobody usually responds to them. Hey, man. You got to at least try, right? Nothing wrong with that. On ETN, my backs are ETN, Swift, Mostart, Warren, and Cook. ETN's been bad the past 2 weeks. Warren has been great. Starting Swift and Mostart this week. Yeah, I mean, you have quite a few good options here. I mean, ETN gets the Texans. It's a good matchup. I probably keep him in my starting matchup or starting lineup. Then yeah, I don't know. I'm starting Swift every single week. Mostart, on the other hand, though, you got to consider because obviously A-Chain's, I don't know. We'll see if he plays or not. But Salvin Ahmed also got hurt in that same game. So, and then, yeah, Warren's been great too, man. I actually like ETN and Swift. But if you feel like Swift and Mostart are better, I'm not going to argue against that. I'm not. You have a lot of good options. And even Cook has been okay these past 2 games, right? That's tough. Orak, what's up? Need to drop one. Noah Brown, Algier, or Madison. I'd probably drop Algier. Start the Jags or the Saints next week. Saints really have not been good from a fantasy perspective. But I don't trust the Jags. Just don't. So I guess I go the Saints. I mean, I like the Jags going into week 11. They only finished with 6 fantasy points. No turnovers or anything like that. The Saints are not my favorite. They get Atlanta on the road. It's like, I mean, they're the defense 16. Is anyone else out there? I guess I go with the Saints between the two. John, any weekly winners or best ball mania 4 luck? No. I would definitely let you know, J-Dubs. Let me see. If I can pull it up. I mean, I have some teams doing okay. Yeah. But it's so hard to say. So hard to say. Sorry. I'm trying to pull up I can't find my weekly winners teams. It's bothering me. Oh, we got a cool the cranberry sauce tournament for Underdog this week just for the Thanksgiving games. Yeah, I mean, I have a couple teams doing decent. Okay, I found my weekly winners. That was bothering me. I don't know. For some reason, Underdog's being like super weird. Like not let me pull up exactly what I'm going to pull up here. So here we go. Oh, I'm winning. Let's see what the number 1 team for weekly winners this week was Brock Purdy, Saquon Barkley, Jalen Warren, Tank Dell, Keenan Allen, Khalil Shakir, and George Kittle. Second place team was Purdy, Barkley, Gus Edwards, Calvin Ridley, Brandon Ayuk, Cortland Sutton, George Kittle. I have a team that won $10. Trevor Lawrence, Monty, Rashad White, Calvin Ridley, Tank Dell, Romeo Dobbs, Cole Kmet. So there's my highlight of the week. How do we feel about Charbonnet versus San Francisco? I think he's okay. Like if you had to start him because he should get some work in the passing game. You know, Rashad White did fine against him this past week. Looks to be a bad matchup, but volume could be nice. I think he's okay. Yeah, but that's about it. Far as tight end, how do you feel about Hudson this week? Maybe at first I start Murray over Howell because of Dallas. Yeah, I do like Kyler Murray this week if you need to start him. I mean, he's looked good, especially running the football the last 2 weeks. So, if you need to start him, I don't have a problem with it at all. Gets the Rams. Not a great matchup, but neither is the Cowboys against Hal. Tanner Hudson is a tough read because there's no Joe Burrow. So, desperation start, in my opinion. My happy PPR league, I'm thinking I'll pass on the JT for Connor and Kirk trade. Tank Dell has stepped in nicely as my other receiver with Olave. JJ out. Is that a good decision or not? I think that's perfectly fine. If you want to hold on to who you got, nothing wrong with that. Pittman or DK in the playoffs. Let's see here. DK Metcalf gets Philadelphia, Tennessee, Pittsburgh. That is a pretty good schedule. And I would imagine the Seahawks will be one of these teams kind of like on the bubble for the playoffs. Those will be competitive games. Pittman, on the other hand, gets Pittsburgh, Atlanta, Las Vegas. Not awful, but not as good. So I'll go DK. 3 coaches I need to go: Staley, Smith, Saleh. I completely agree. Chase, what's up, man? Another wild week. London or Deontay? Give me Drake London. I don't know why. I just don't believe in the Steelers' passing attack right now. I don't know if we should believe in the Falcons, though. Colts, Patriots, Broncos are available. The Colts are kind of sneaky. They play the Bucs, so I don't love that, but they've been pretty good. The Broncos have been pretty good, too, and they play a Browns offense that was not impressive last week. And the Patriots, the Giants, and who knows what version of Tommy DeVito we're going to get. I actually like the Broncos against the Browns. What can I pair Jaden Reed and Dotson together so I can free a spot to activate Chiron off IR? Yeah, I would probably just keep Reed and drop Dotson. Dotson's way too volatile. Oh, I'll have to check out this website. Can look at exposures. Yeah, I was struggling to find my drafts for a second. London over Deontay, I agree. Carolina's coach? No. Yeah, he was definitely referring to the Bears. Do you trust Chiron? I'm thinking maybe I should trade him. I trust Chiron. The volume was great before. The red zone touches were great. Love him this week against the Cardinals. I would hold on to him, Max. Yeah, and J-Dubs has with Cup down. Definitely helps. Waiver wire, pick up Roshan Johnson or Zach Charbonnet. Definitely Charbonnet. Definitely 110% Charps. What do you guys think between Pitts and Njoku? I like Njoku right now. I mean, I don't know if he's going to get 15 targets every week, but I like Njoku. But you know how it is with this tier of tight end. It's just a mess. So let's see here. Waiver, rate and order. Dylan's probably number 1. Then Chandler. Then the other 3 guys, kind of whoever you like best. They don't really mean much to me. Maybe Foreman gets opportunities. Spear's still a good handcuff, so I might like them more than McLaughlin, but definitely go after Dylan and Chandler first. And it can start 3: Algier, Taysom, Hendo, and Laporta. Wow. Sorry. I'm not starting Algier. No faith in him. Henderson's going to get replaced. I mean, I guess Taysom, Laporta, and here's the 2 scenarios. Henderson vultures a touchdown from Chiron because Henderson has been playing well. And maybe that happens for some reason. Or you start Algier and maybe we have Arthur Smith game, and he gets some touches and Vulture's a touchdown. So flip a coin between those two. What is my username? The Catch 18. Okay, I'm searching my name. My most drafted player is still Kenneth Gainwell. Okay, so I can search the leaderboard. I'm not on the leaderboard. Mikey Juice 24 is number 1. It's a cool website, actually. I just wonder. I mean, I have a couple teams right now that are advancing, but all right. So number 1 team has Lamar Jackson, Prescott, Aaron Jones, DeAndre Swift, Devontae Shane, Jalen Warren, Raheem Mostert, Gus Edwards, AJ Brown, CeeDee Lamb, Keenan Allen, Hollywood, Brandon Cooks, KJ Osborne, Curtis Samuel, Sam Laporta, Isaiah Likely, and Trey McBride. I mean, yeah, it's just as long as you get a ticket in, you have a shot. You know, that's the big thing. So, interesting website. Thank you for that, Jadobs. Max, have a good night to you, Bursky. Jaden Reed or Sutton rest of the season? Sutton. I do like some Jaden Reed, though. Noah Brown or Brandon Cooks rest of the season? Yeah, I agree with J-Dubs here. Noah for the ceiling, Brandon for the 4. No, deep bleed, you just lost Kenneth. Yeah, that sucks. Tough decisions right there, man. Yeah, I guess I go Algier than the 2 tight ends. I think I agree with that. I've been wondering, the Falcons owner Arthur Blank recently got a message to Coach Smith to use Bijan. Well, I mean, it was also just such a good matchup in that last game against the Cardinals. Like, you had to use them, right? Of course, Spence has a team advancing. He better. Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess if we're looking at best ball mania specifically, okay, I have 1 team advancing at the moment. Prescott, Jordan Love, Kyler Murray, Barkley, Swift, Rashad White, Algier, Jeff Wilson. Nice. CeeDee Lamb, Amari Cooper, DJ Moore, Hollywood, Jahan Dotson, Romeo Dobbs, Darius Slayton, Cole Kmet, Luke Musgrave, Trey McBride. That team's okay. Take it. Then, like, the big board, I have a team advancing, and Taymone is in that same tournament, and so are you, J-Dubs. Taymone's number 1. Let me see. Superflex, big board, I have 2 teams advancing. Puppy, I have, and Chihuahua, I have a couple teams advancing. But I kind of like that best ball team. Team's got a shot, at least. We'll see what happens. Well, I only have 1 team if it makes you feel better, J-Dubs. I'm dumping Connor likely this week for defense due to Vulture poaching touchdowns in red zone. I wouldn't drop Connor. The volume's still been there. You know? Volume's king. I get it, though. I mean, it's a tough matchup this week against the Rams. A good matchup against the Steelers next week. It just kind of depends on your roster, I guess. Pierce, Hendo, Spears dropped 1. I mean, Hendo could see a big drop-off in production coming up, but I don't really believe in Pierce right now. I think there's going to ride that hot hand to Singletary, but that's just my opinion. Then Spears to me is still just a handcuff. But Hendo's kind of, I'd probably drop Hendo. Probably. My QBs in the best bowling I'm winning are Jones and Burrow. Oh, I didn't even look. What's up, Taylor? Well, we'll see what happens. Taysom Hill, top 5 tight end? No. I have Cowboys defense. They'll be head to head for a few weeks, but week 17, I need a better stream. If the Chiefs are out there, I'd pick them up. I mean, pretty impressive tonight when it was all said and done. I mean, obviously kind of folded at the end, but, you know, there's a point in this game where they were actually pretty stout and were putting up decent fantasy points. So, but yeah, and just the upcoming schedule for the Chiefs is great. Yeah, I didn't even look, Taylor. Let's see. I mean, yeah, it is Burrow and Jones. Dang, you have Tank Dell, Dobbs, Ayuk, Wilson, Brown, Hawkinson, Gibbs, White. That's basically your whole team. Yeah, Burrow going down really hurts. And the team in second place is pretty decent. I'm a Holmes and T-Law. Wow, T-Law's points been awful. Jacobs, Pacheco, Kamara, Monty, Mostart. Jeez. Hill, Kirk. Wow, my wide receivers are awful. Hill and Kirk. No one else is worth mentioning. Maybe Judy. Evan Ingram, Daniel Bellinger. This team has a shot just due to the running backs. Jacobs, Pacheco, Kamara, Monty, Mostart. Free agent Michael Carter on that team. I drafted a lot of Michael Carter last year, going into this year. Always interesting looking at these teams. Yeah, I got a couple of teams in the puppy as well. Goff and Sam Howell, McCaffrey, Pacheco, Cook, A-Chain. Devonta Smith, Debo, DJ Moore, Dotson, Flowers, Shaheed, Kittle, Laporta. That's a nice team. Always like the puppy. All right, this is probably kind of boring for you guys. I'll stop reading random teams for you. I just haven't looked at it at all. I had 20% A-Rich and Kirk, so I'm surprised I'm advancing 10. Luckily, I don't have like any A-Rich shares. JJ coming back is likely, but they also have a bye week following week, so it might not. Dobbs or Fields rest of the season, I'd still go Fields, I think. Running backs are JT, Bijan Walker, Connor, and Mitchell. And Brees Hall. I mean, yeah, I guess at that point you can drop Connor if you really want to. Like Pittsburgh, Steve versus Bengals, I absolutely do. Absolutely do. They're a safe floor, if anything, and they have enough upside. Absolutely. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we made it to the bottom of the chat. So I'm actually going to start wrapping up here. I know we're a little bit under an hour. I got to do a couple things before tomorrow. And I got to record at least one video before tomorrow as well. Houston, Tampa, Indy, rest of season. Well, let's see here. Houston, there's just no ceiling. I mean, they get Jacksonville, Denver, Jets, Tennessee, Cleveland, Tennessee. There's some good matchups in there. Will Levis twice, Cleveland in week 16, the Jets in week 14. They might be worth stashing, but I think the next 2 weeks are a little bit tougher. Tampa Bay is always interesting, but they just haven't been great in terms of consistency. They get Indy, Carolina, Atlanta, Green Bay, Jacksonville, New Orleans. I just don't know if I trust them. Their secondary has been really bad. Indianapolis, on the other hand, I think is once again an interesting squad. They're the defense 7 going into this past week. They get Baker, Will Levis, the Bengals, Kenny Pickett, Desmond Ritter, or Heineke, and then Aiden O'Connell. So I like the Colts a lot. I go the Colts. Colts, Texans, Bucks. Search me up. My high scoring team had a surge in the past 2 weeks. J Dubba 728. Hold on. I lost the link. I'm not even lying. Pete, what's up, bro? Should everyone cut Madison? Probably not. You might want to for emotional reasons. You're welcome, Joe. Have a great night, my guy. Thank you, J-Dubs. I know it was higher up in the chat. I didn't feel like looking. J Dubba 728. See, I don't know. For me, it's oh wait, I spelled it wrong. Forgot the Y. Okay, I found you. You have a lot of teams. I can't tell. I can't tell. I don't know how to separate which team is your recent team and which team's not. Oh, maybe I just go by. I could go by points. Or does this go by the most points scored? No, I don't think it does. I don't know. I think I'm too stupid. Wait. Oh, the first one. Okay. A-Rich, Love, Stroud, Eckler, Barkley, Swift, Monty, Mostart, DJ Moore, Watson, Brandon Ayuk, Dotson, Flowers, Randall Robinson, John Mechie, Josh Downs, Dalton Schultz, Musgrave. Nice. I do like that squad a lot. Good players to have behind A-Rich for sure. Dude, I was looking at this completely. Oh, I understand how to read this now. Yeah, you got some good little teams here. Damn it, we got one team with just Josh Allen. My bad. Last week, a team started Josh Dobbs and left Kyler and Fields on the bench. Was this a mistake or is this possible collusion? Is a non-playoff team playing a team one game out of first place? No, I think you could easily make the argument for Dobbs over Kyler or Fields if you really wanted to. Yeah, I don't think it's collusion. You make an argument for any of those guys to be the starter. Wendy's chili is good. Eddie, what's up? Lamar or Stroud? Probably Lamar. I think you just got to keep rolling with them, man. The Chargers defense sucks. I'll go Lamar, but I like Stroud a lot. I mean, Laporta or Schultz? That's close. I'll go Schultz, but it's very close. Sitting Cup for Downs and starting JT and Swift, even if A-Chain plays. Thoughts? That's fine. I'm good with that. I'm good with that. Trade away. What's up, Cats? Good to see you, bro. Trade away Tank Dell, Watson, and Kenneth for Walker or for Eckler last week. Scared that Eckler has lost step after watching him this week. I mean, fortunately, with the Walker injury, you didn't lose too much, but you did lose Tank Dell. And Watson did score last week, but I hate Christian Watson. I'm not overly concerned about Eckler. I'm not. I was concerned that he did not score a touchdown in this game, but I'm not overly concerned. JJ coming back, that's a legit question now. They still have a chance to make the playoffs, so I think he will. I think he'll play when he's ready. I'd honestly rather pick up Musgrave than Isaiah Likely. I mean, yeah, the Vikings O-line is abysmal, man. Just awful. You know, RB in a flex. I have White, Dell, Ramondre, Warren. Jeez, that's tough. I don't want to sit Rachaad White, though. I just don't. I start Rachaad White against the Colts, and I start Tank Dell, but it's close. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we'll go ahead and wrap up for the night. So, thank you guys for hanging out tonight, but most importantly, thank you guys for all the fantasy questions. Hope you guys got through week 11, and let's try and get through week 12 now, right? The season is flying by. Yeah, why not? Go for JJ. Why not, Ghost Hunter? So make sure you guys hit the like. If you guys are new to the channel, hope you guys enjoyed the stream. Hope you guys are back for more and consider subscribing. Check out our links down below. Follow us on Instagram. Join our Discord. Best places for me to reach you guys. Is Chase still a must start? No, but he's still startable for sure. Just drops down and kind of to wide receiver 2's flex territory. All right, guys. Everyone have a great Tuesday. Enjoy your week, and I will talk to you guys soon. As always, thank you guys for the fantasy questions. Love you guys, man. Love this community. Love the Catch fam. With that, I will say thank you guys so much for watching and or listening. And remember, you saw it here on the Catch, and peace.